Hi everyone, with a new host this week, uh, Rojo, and we're joined today by, this according to my screen, there's Tommy, Judith, Tivo, William, Ivan or Ivan, I don't know, but Walter and Oku. So this is another town hall. This is the 73rd town hall. New faces, perhaps, and this is again November the 14th, 2023. And this week we have in our agenda the following items. We have mentions, work group updates, voting experiment, or at least a call out for a voting for joining the voting experiment. And then we have some updates about the Treasury quarter 4 proposal. Okay, perhaps most of you are familiar with. Okay, my computer is bugging. Oh, okay. Most of you are familiar with this, but perhaps, we usually do this for the recording. So yeah, we want to talk about who are ambassadors. So that's basically anyone who wants to learn more about the SNet ecosystem and contribute to its growth. What do we do? What do ambassadors in general do? Well, the SNet community's opportunity, it's basically an opportunity to contribute to the growth of Singularity ecosystem throughout multiple work groups and guilds. We have all sorts of activities that people contribute to: videos, documents, even development, which is new coming in, and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, we start with the mentions. We have a couple of mentions actually from the ecosystem in general. The first one would be Rejuve token migration. I don't have personally a lot of details about this. I still need to read there is a document, or let's say an article about it. Uh, but and perhaps I can also share the document after I finish. But yeah, yes, there is basically a token migration that Rojo is doing, and if you're holding any tokens or you're thinking about holding any tokens, this information probably is useful to you. There is also staking coming into Cardano. A lot of people, have been a little bit not very happy about the staking mainly being available on Ethereum, with all the gas fees and the whole thing. So yeah, it's coming into Cardano. There is a form that you have to fill, and I think not everyone will be able to join as soon as it's available, but you know you'll get, I guess everyone will get the opportunity to join very soon. So that's good news. I personally have been waiting for that for some time, so that's cool. And now we go to the work groups, get some work group updates, and we start with onboarding. We have Sukran or someone else maybe from the work group. I'm actually starting to doubt that everyone has access to the link, because usually, at least work group leads are usually here. Love Owokere. I don't know who this is, but yeah, go on.
Hi, everybody. I'm from the onboarding work group. Suku is unavailable, so I was asked to be here.
Thank you. Do you have some updates? That would be cool.
Okay.
Sorry for putting you on the spot, but yeah,
Sorry, please, could you give me a minute? Let me get it.
for sure, for sure. Take your time. Yeah, sorry for putting you on the spot.
All right.
Yeah. Then we have incubation, the AI sandbox. That's on Thursdays, 18 UTC or 6 p.m. UTC, and that's on a bi-weekly kind of standard. Do we have Fly here? Looking at the participants, not really. Did anyone actually participate in last week's call for the AI sandbox? No. Okay. Okay, that's not going really good for a first time doing this, or maybe second time actually. Yeah, I'm having a horrible experience. Nobody's giving updates. Come on.
Hey, Rojo, sorry to interrupt. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, sorry, I raised my hand, but maybe you didn't follow. So I participate. I can give you a small follow-up on last week incubation.
Mm-hmm.
You're up for it?
Go for it.
Okay,
yeah.
So there's a bi-weekly town hall and a weekly call. Last week we start developing finally moving task into progress. So we have a small team. Curtis and I are going to be leading two research that we think are going to be very substantially good for the ecosystem and the ambassadors. One will focus on upskilling workshop for ambassadors and participants, and the other one it will be a database database for skills within the community. I mentioned the developers Workgroup. You are leading, and there's a lot of places where we will join forces. And I personally understand that this kind of initiatives are going to be very good for the whole environment. So that have been moved in progress in the DWork platform. And yesterday we shared the first documents, the first blueprints for this, and looking forward for the first revision from the work group. From there on, we'll have more updates probably in next time.
Thanks a lot. That's pretty cool. Love, also, you had your hands up. I don't know if you still like to say something, or let's give you a minute maybe. Next thing, archival work group. That's on Wednesday at 1 p.m. UTC. That's also bi-weekly. I believe it's going to be held tomorrow. So last week it wasn't. They didn't have a meeting, so I believe tomorrow there will be a meeting. Do we have anyone from archival? Anyone? Not really. This is great. We don't have anyone from anything basically at this point. But yeah.
You're still doing a great job, don't worry.
Well, at least we have the next one, DWork PBL work group. Finally, that's on Wednesday, 1 UTC, 1 p.m. UTC, bi-weekly. Mr. Tivo, here we go.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah. So the next DWork PBL is next week, so we don't have it for this one and previous one. As we mentioned last time, we went into the actions of trying to create DWork tasks and going through the lessons, so playing as a student. And we weren't able to fully do the full PBL this time. We found so many small things that actually you cannot do in DWork and different changes. So we got halfway into. So next week when we have the session, we will basically push from where we left off and try to create the final action items to onboard ourselves into project management of DWork. From there, probably more than road mapping, how do we bring it back to the ambassador program and show it what we haven't done so far.
That's really cool. Are you forecasting any maybe broader community testing or something like that maybe?
Yep, I think that would be the next step after that. But we'll then get a session for this discussion where people want to there's so many ways to improve that. But let's bring that into the DWork PBL if you like how we create these educational courses or manage stuff, then it's a place to start.
Yeah, DWork is a very important, I would say, part of the workflow in the ambassador program. So if you're newly joined or anything, and you're thinking about perhaps progressing into more like project management of any sort, or like taking more of like leadership roles in terms of community guilds or work groups, I think like the work as a skill is pretty important. Yeah, I would recommend getting involved with the whole PBL work group to just get yourself familiar with the whole process. Love, go for it.
Hi, sorry for the delay. I had to get something in order. So, from the onboarding work group, the reason why the onboarding work group is kind of private right now is because of some kind of recent change we did concerning tax on the onboarding work group. So it was decided that you have to have the onboarding role to be able to do some kind of tax on the work. And in order to acquire the onboarding role, you have to attend at least 5 meetings in a quarter or 3 meetings in a month. That's number one of the updates we have. And then the second thing we're working on right now is a survey form that will be ready by next town hall meeting, so that we could send it to every other work group members and people in the onboarding work group to fill in and express how exactly they feel about the current onboarding process. And we are also preparing a Twitter thread to put out there on how to get started in the ambassador program. I think that's all I have on the onboarding work group.
Thanks a lot. That's great to know. Again, I mean, if you want to get involved with the whole onboarding process, there is the onboarding work group. You need to get onboarded to the onboarding work group basically. But yeah, it's great. It's quite a low threshold. I mean, 3 meetings in a month. I believe you can do that in no time. Yeah, I encourage anyone interested to join in on the work group. The next thing. Sorry. Oh, okay. The next thing that we have is strategy work group with Mr. Tommy.
Good day, everybody. Strategy has been working for several weeks on the creation of what is known as the roundtable. And I am putting in a link in the chat to the document we have been working on with the timeline. And you'll notice when you go in and look at it, below the red line is the history and explanation and time frames and thinking behind the creators of the document and the creators of the roundtable. And above the red line is left for everybody in the community, you included, to put in your thoughts on the roundtable. You may question, what is the roundtable? Well, in a decentralized world such as SingularityNet, as we're becoming more and more decentralized, first for the last year and a half, we have been working on infrastructure such as the Treasury Guild, the different work groups and guilds and work group leaders, etc. Now we're starting to, in our self-organized roles, groups, circles, we're starting to look towards outward bound and some ethical questions. So one of the questions is, if there is an issue, who does it get referred to? And that may be one role for the roundtable. If there are questions of legality or formation of an actual DAO, who does that go to in a decentralized world? And those are some of the issues, some of the insights as to what the roundtable may be. But that's in your hands. That's totally up to the community, which is why this has been a multi-week initiative by the Strategy Guild. And we're inviting you to come along, edit, comment on the document, make your thoughts known. And you'll see by the time in there, I think it's November 28th, we'd like to have it completed and brought out in the town hall such as this, and then put out for either consensual decision or a vote. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tommy. And just to reiterate on that, I mean, all of the things included in that document will affect you. I mean, if you're willing to be involved in the community and become like a member and get involved in any sort of level, those things will affect you. I mean, at some point you might need some sort of conflict resolution, or you need to solve something. And maybe at that point you will be like, oh, I don't like how this is phrased, but that's too late. Maybe you can advocate to edit it, but it will take too long. So perhaps, this is a really good point to, include whatever, read it out. It's not too long, to be honest. So I believe we can all contribute to it. Next is Treasury Guild. That will be on Thursdays, 3:30 UTC. I believe that's also bi-weekly, but it's not written in the slides. And that's with TiVo.
And Treasury Guild didn't have a meeting last week. We asynchronously, been just looking at the document, the Treasury proposal. We did touch it on Ambassadors Assembly call today, and this is also going to be shared later, so that we basically what the plans are, the roadmap. But for the next meeting on Thursday, ideally, we have now almost 3 weeks of backlog of insights when we are auditing the contributions. So there is a lot of small things to pick up. But if there is anything that we decide today that also needs discussing, then we will bring it up on Treasury Guild call. Because the budget is still kind of loose, but on another way, I feel like it's now landing and we don't have to grab it and then move to other things we have wanted to discuss. That's it.
Yeah, it feels very close. Then we can start caring, I guess, about the next quarter's budget. I mean, we're not that far off. After that, we have Marketing Guild. That's on Fridays as well, and that's at 12 UTC. Walter, I will call for you, but please keep it brief. Thank you. Walter?
Objections to the proposed budget have been documented. Links are posted in the ambassador channel, and I'll cross-link it here.
Thank you. Yes, indeed, there are many intersections with the document that were recorded by Walter. Most of them are in the Treasury Guild channel, so you can check them out, comment there, and include your own feedback as well. Yeah, I believe Walter is
not most, all, every document that I produced is in there.
I want to say, yeah, probably most. Let's not say all. I mean, maybe someone else commented at some point. I don't recall, but yeah, it's almost all Walter, which is impressive, to be honest. Yeah, next Marketing Guild, again, that's on Friday, 12 UTC, and I believe we will go with Judith.
Certainly. By the way, great job so far, Rojo.
Thank you.
Yeah, for the Marketing Guild, we have been discussing the strategy to outreach to the spin-off projects, the SNet spin-off projects. As we had discussed over the past weeks, we wanted to have a couple of people in charge to reach out to the spin-off projects to see if we can help them, to see if they need any task done by us, for example, video creation or writing, and we just didn't have a good system in place. Well, we don't have a current system in place to reach out, so that's why we started this initiative, and we decided that this week, over the course of this week, two of us are gonna start the reaching out process to the spin-off projects to see if we can establish collaborations and if there's any interest from their side to collaborate with our work groups on tasks on any task that they might need. So yeah, that's going on this week. That's basically most of what we discussed. Also, we made a couple of decisions. I had posted a couple of polls in the Marketing Guild chat, and there I've asked some questions and people voted on it, and one item that was voted on is to keep the name of the Marketing Guild as Marketing Guild, because we had considered to call it Outreach Guild or Marketing or Outreach Guild, but people voted to keep the name as Marketing Guild. Another thing that was voted on, that each spin-off project that we would like to have, we would like to have basically one coordinator for each spin-off project to communicate. However, I think we do have to revisit that because I do not think we have the capacity. I don't think we have as many members as we have spin-off projects, so that we will have to revisit. And another decision that we made is that the Marketing Guild will not be a meeting that will happen weekly. It will be a meeting that will happen whenever there's a need for it, because we do have the writers and the video work group, and currently there's not much of a need to have weekly Marketing Guild sessions, so they will run whenever needed.
Walter, go for it.
So I wanted to congratulate Judith on tremendous progress and offer that yesterday in education under Tommy's leadership, we're also have been looking at educational materials for the spin-off projects, and we extend an offer of collaboration. We have specific interests. Tom has been looking into Rejuve. I'm interested in NewNet, and so on. And so we'd like to find the most effective way of working together.
Perfect. Thank you, Tom. We will be discussing this in next week's this week's meeting. There will be a meeting this week, as we said. Until we figure out this outreach process, we actually will keep the Marketing Guild meetings. We will have as many as we need until we figure out this process, and then we can have them as not weekly meetings. But so we haven't decided who's gonna reach out to, like, who's gonna be the coordinator for each spin-off project. So if you're interested in NewNet, I mean, that would be definitely helpful. And I'm not sure, should we maybe have a collaborative meeting with with education, if that's something you've already also been discussing in there? Should we have a collaborative meeting? I believe you mentioned you cannot join the Marketing Guild meetings because that's too early for you. How should I just reach out via DM?
Yeah, we'll handle it DM off town hall, and we'll figure something out.
Okay.
Thanks, Walter.
Great.
Yeah, and also Tommy, if you can join the Friday meeting, that would be great. I know that Walter is very far west, so that's quite hard to join at that time. But if you can, that would be great. I think it's great, actually. Like, education does have a role there, and Walter, there is NewNet, Rejuve already in there. That's if we can get them to be like a point of contact, that's already two kind of projects knocked off the list, which is good, I think. Great news. And again, if anyone is interested in this conversation, maybe getting involved in this process, you can join in Friday, 12 UTC. So note that. There's also a public calendar link for all of these. and that gets you to like a Google Calendar, and it's shared on the channel Getting Started. So if you go to our Discord, there is a channel called Getting Started. In there, you will find all the relevant links. One of them is the calendar. Next is Video Workgroup, which is me, I guess. So far, we have been doing the usual tasks as usual, you know, editing the town hall video, the town hall summary video as well. We have been bringing a lot of new stuff basically to the town hall summary. And I don't know if you're following our links, especially, you know, the Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok kind of links, you will see that the last town hall summary that was shared is quite different. Different background color, different fonts, and all this kind of stuff. And maybe it's not relevant to you, but we're kind of trying to make it as beautiful as we can, and as, let's say, to make it hurt your eyes less while you're watching it. So yeah, hopefully we're doing better on that front. We're also making new content. One of our latest content is the defunding round 3 video. We talked about the results and a little bit also about kind of what happened, you know, the news and all the growth that the ecosystem has been witnessing. And that was cool. What else? Judith, did I forget anything?
I think that was the most important thing. Yeah, we discussed how to optimize the town hall videos, and gosh, I don't have the meeting summary in front of me right now, but
yeah, I wish I had it in front of me.
I think we also brainstormed content that we can put out over the future week. We were talking about repurposing clips and yeah, putting out a lot more short clips.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, we thought about the type of new content we can do. One of the ideas that we had, which is like low kind of effort kind of stuff, which is repurposing content that we already shared. So just making it better and you know, putting in different kind of things like subtitles and stuff that would optimize this content for like a larger population, let's say. And that was one of the options. Another option was to basically find videos online and cut them down to small clips. That was another option. And there is, you know, the third option, which is just creating whatever content, you know, creating a video from scratch and all these kind of things, which we have, you know, proposal process for. And yeah, so far we're waiting, I guess. There is actually a video. We still didn't discuss this, but we got like this information from Peter. There is the Cardano stake, in which we'll talk about later, coming, and that will probably need a video. So yeah, we can make a little video talking about, you know, what is this Cardano staking all about and how people can join. So yeah, that could be an interesting thing coming. And I talk too much, so next thing, Writers Guild or Writers Workgroup. That's also on Friday, right after Video Workgroup, at 14 UTC. And I don't know if anyone from Writers is here. Anyone?
I was there, but I'm not prepared to give a full summary. To be honest, we had, if I remember correctly, there was a new member joining, and we walked her through yeah, how we're doing things at the Writers Guild, and answered a whole bunch of her questions. And we reviewed yeah, some of the content we have put out. We talked about the tasks that are available on dwork. I gave a review on my task that I put out over the last week and what I was struggling with, what I found difficult. Yeah, it was a lot of question and answer, to be honest. I'm not sure if I can give you anything more interesting than that currently. I don't have the summary in front of me, unfortunately, currently.
That's okay. Actually, I know this is not, a lot of people are not here to present the updates, but in case you are actually curious about one of these updates, you can check the summaries channel. That's also on Discord. And almost all of the work groups and guilds post like a document that has a summary of the whole thing. So that includes what happens in the meeting and action items and this kind of stuff. So yeah, you can check it out if you're curious about any one of these meetings. We also have Gamers Guild that had its third session on Saturday, 14 UTC. And I don't know, I'll ask, I guess, is there anyone from Gamers Guild? I don't see anyone, but we'll see. All right, if not, I will give like a small, maybe kind of information. I wasn't there, but basically what happened, there is usually Gamers Guild is doing some quiz-like kind of games on the bot, and they have prizes for winners and all this stuff. So if you're actually interested in learning more about the SingularityNet ecosystem in general and the ambassador program, join in on Saturday for a short session to have fun and in the same time learn. Might be a good option for you. And again, that's on Saturday, 14 UTC. Next in, we have knowledge-based work group, Monday, 17 UTC, and that's also bi-weekly. And I guess it's Tivo.
Yes. Yeah, on Monday we had the session indeed, and let me try to. Yeah, basically this was a new approach. Kind of we updated the Miro board. We went through again like action items. What are we doing here? What are the activities in the work group itself? What do we do in meeting? What do we do asynchronously? And kind of look at again the costs of how do we distribute these activities and how many we need to do in order to kind of start crafting the knowledge base for ambassador program. Right now we have like a bunch of links we have analyzed several times. We did that also in the session. We went through the motion, but we kind of segued also the session and made it 90 minutes instead of 60-minute session, where we do both research, review, analyze, and organizing. So we have moved a bunch of stuff around and kind of get the grasp of what are we doing, all of the assets from different work groups and guilds. Yeah, and this last meeting we mainly analyzed the treasury guild assets and documents, which kind of give us the in the design system thinking idea of like what are value we transfer, how do we recognize that, and how the transparency stuff a bit. And then also, slight touch on also the mission and all that, because ambassador program was crafted by the main, I don't know what's the, don't remember the name, but the SingularityNet phase 2 proposal, the big one, a lot of pages where tokenomics was discussed. So we also put that in the knowledge base. Yep, that's it. And next week, another session. Yes. And we continue with the same pattern, probably.
Very nice. Do you recommend any preparation for people that would like to join next session?
A process guild Discord channel is the main communication. You will get any onboard yourself these questions. If you are straight into meetings, then Google Calendar. If you want some background information, then Discord is the communication device I use to answer any questions. And main working item is Miro board in my case, but there is like ways to asynchronously also, like in Discord to discuss. I can share you the videos. We have like a bunch of content, so how to kind of construct it. But there is no like specific path of, because to me it's human connection is the onboarding. Talk to me and I get you onboarded.
Yeah, I mean, probably the best way, one-to-one onboarding. Don't miss on the opportunity, I guess. Next we have developers workgroup. Guillermo, you can go for it. I mean, we don't have much to say, I guess, for this week, but yeah, go for it, Guillermo.
Okay, so short update. We keep working on the document, the structure. It's the first blueprint. I don't know if Thibault can shoot that on the chat. It's a simple, basic, foundational blueprint that is, we want to establish the objectives, the strategy, short, middle, and long-term goals and objectives of the work group. And I had some points yesterday that I share with the idea of creating a platform to support this channel to make it more easier for the and simple place for community to engage. I add another segment for an open code, open source coding template library, which the developers group will use to make tasks fast and simple. We will later call on the community to help us build that folder and repository bigger and bigger and stronger. And then when we will get all these things together, I guess we will be ready for the challenge to build our first experience result for the community. And that we'll have to wait for the next work group meeting next Monday, and we will resume from there for to the ambassadors and to all the guilds. And we'll have more information and a stronger update.
Yeah, I'm personally very excited about this work group. Yeah, we're kind of stuck right now with documentation, which is like the worst thing for any developer or any person, actually, any human. You know, documenting something is like, yeah, not the best experience. But once we're done with the proposal and the structure and all this kind of stuff, we will get the general community's kind of input on it as well. And then, you know, start working on more concrete things, I would say. Yeah, looking forward to that. Next thing we have educational or education guild or work group. Sorry, actually that's education guild, not work. Yeah, that's wrong in the slide.
It doesn't matter that much. We pretty much do the same thing. We just, when we started the program, we didn't know what to call ourselves. So some are guilds, some are work groups. Hey, there are 10 ambassadors. I didn't know if everybody knows that, but there's 10, and we're elected, the ambassadors, and we were elected by our peers at the time. And now we're looking to add some additional ambassadors, and that's why some of you are in the program. I'm going to ask some questions, and I would like anybody that knows to please answer. Who is the founder of SingularityNet? That's the first question. Anybody know? Just jump in and answer.
Is it not Ben Gertzel?
It is. Very good. William, you get an attaboy. What year was SingularityNet founded?
Are we supposed to raise our hand or just yell?
No, just jump in and answer, Judith.
I assume 2017, because that's when I found tokens.
Beautiful, Tevo. You get an attaboy too. I thought I was going to give Judith an attagirl. Name 10 of the 15 spin-offs in the Singularity ecosystem.
Sophiaverse 1, Mindplex 2. And this is a team game, so Judith.
Nunet, Sophiaverse. I know all of them.
You get an attagirl anyway, Judith.
AI, Reduce Bio, OpenCog Hyperon.
Very good. You're doing good.
Good. SingularityNet Studio. The studio.
Singularity DAO, or
Singularity
DAO,
DAO.
name it after all this.
Okay, but you understand. So an ambassador should be able to answer these questions without hesitation. They should know that. They should be what we called in the sales world eyelid tattoos. You should be able to answer what is the difference between Rejuve and Rejuve Bio. And by the way, who's the CEO of NewNet or Rejuve? So those are some of the things. So we have X number of ambassadors, and we want to bring on more ambassadors. But education is introducing, and it won't come out until target is end of first quarter 20, whatever next year is 2024, and it's going to be the certified ambassador. And it will be a series, sort of like a master class suggested by Rojo, and it will be a combination of video, write-ups on the projects, and homework, each segment followed by a test. And then after all of the segments, and depending on the number of spin-offs, including deep funding, SNet itself, we can go on for a while. There's at least 12, 15 of them, and they keep changing, keep adding. But there will be a comprehensive exam, and it will only be open to ambassadors to take the course in the hopes of elevating their responses, their media capabilities, go out and do X Spaces, formerly known as Twitter Spaces, and also go to conventions and shows and talk on behalf. And this is part of what Judith is, the program in the reach out to the different projects to help them with ambassador things, but we need to know about them. So that's what educational has been doing. We are this week have homework. I have to write a Lord Byron card on Rejuve and Rejuve Bio, and Walter's doing one, Peter's doing one, and Slade, I think, is doing one. Curtis just did one, even though he said he didn't have the time. And Lord Byron was famous for who, what, when, where, why, and how. So we want to answer those basic questions on a card, and that will be part of the master class. So this week, when we review our homework, we're going to decide what the best format, so they can be somewhat standardized. Videos, we've pretty much standardized what we want in the videos. And then we're going to also look deep and say, hey, for homework, go read the white paper. And we're going to make tests on that. So that's what education is up to, the certified SingularityNet Ambassador Program. Thanks.
I like the sound of that. Certified SingularityNet Ambassador. Quite nice. Guillermo, go for it.
Sorry, just want to add on what Tommy was mentioning. I like the game, the other toys. One of the ideas, the research links that Tivos shared on the chat, it's the upskilling workshop, and it's following Tommy's foundational idea. I think Tommy raised the awareness a couple of months ago, so one of these several town halls, about each of us knowing about how to explain and give an elevator pitch of Sophia verse, and we need to know our mantra. We need to know, and all of us understanding the different business models, and having that in mind, and between all the notes I take on our calls, the 13th point on this blueprint is pitching public speeches, effectively presenting SingularityNet's diverse audiences, mission and vision basics, knowledge and understanding, SingularityNet's ecosystem and all its spin-off, and the importance of that. So that it's also part of this upskilling workshop. So later on, Tommy, we should join forces and see how we can give some input on your education and this initiative for certifying and how we can help on that.
I think we can also talk about the voting experiment. That's something that was introduced by Felix last week, I believe, or the week before, but the voting started last week. So there are apparently 52 wallets that are eligible to vote. On the other hand, I think only 8 votes have been received so far. So this is to the people that are watching now, and also if anyone is going to be watching on YouTube or whatever, yeah, just go on, vote, be part of the experiment. I think it's going to be very interesting to have such model of on-chain governance, and just having a tool to voice opinions is pretty awesome, to be honest, especially if it's an on-chain tool. So yeah, if you're eligible, you know, exert your rights, I would say. Also, I don't know, Tivo, can you give us also like a little update, I guess, about what to expect from the Q4 budget proposal? What can people expect this week and next week?
Putting the document down in the chat too, and pinned the document in the Treasury Group channel. And what we can expect is, yep, we have discussions on the budgets. We have like quite lengthy ones. We have shared this document last week, and now we think we like moving into like considerations to basically ratify it somehow. And the way we think we'd like to do that is to have also like a Google form, so like voting. So next week we expect all who want to have their say on the Q4 budget proposal. That's like a proposal. How do we then limit our budget speed with different work groups and guilds? And so we have like a more standardized experience on when we do stuff here. And then also with the Google form, we are collecting like feedback, where we basically want you to rate how you feel in general, how we are doing this stuff. Is the processes are fine, or like, is there any like tricks we could do, or like suggestion, feedback, a bit of like where you can work yourself, your ideas, how we can improve our processes or budgets. And then, yeah, of course, the fairness of the budgets themselves, like how do you perceive that, how we have managed so far? So that could then be used to also measure the way we are doing it, because it's going to be an iterational thing every quarter. And then if we also measure our like tests and experiments we do, perhaps we are able to steer much better and understand our community, what they expect from us to transparently share.
Yes. Again, remember next week we will share the forms. So in case you would like to voice your opinion, maybe you want to change something about the whole process, that's cool. And guess, yeah, next week we can talk about that. We have 4 minutes left on our timeline, and again, if there are any questions, newcomers, you're welcome to do so. Otherwise, that's all from my side.
I have a question for Ivan, since he's still here. What work group interests you most and why?
Sorry, Tor, did you ask me like what is my interest coming here?
Both that and from the work groups that we share today, what interests you the most, and like match your skill or your passion? Why?
Oh yeah, so what interested me to enter in the first place was the Cardano staking. I'm really big in the Cardano ecosystem, and I also invested in Agix because I generally invest in most of the Cardano projects. So I wanted to know like a little bit insight on what was going on with the Agix staking because I do have a lot of Agix, but it's just like on my wallet not doing anything because I have it on the Cardano blockchain. So I just wanted to know a little bit more about that. Now that I see all of the things you guys are doing now, I'm more interested into checking the Discord. Definitely, I'll check that out. And I think that like the coolest, like the most interesting thing, it was something that I think it was. Let me look for the name. It was Tommy. I think he was talking about. He was doing a. They were gonna do a master class and everything. Because I'll be honest with you, you were talking about a lot of things that I was not understanding. Like, so definitely, I do need a master class to get more informed on what's going on in Agix. But yeah, I think it was really interesting and honestly, congratulate you guys on your project on Agix and what you guys are doing because it's really cool.
Yeah, I'd like to just interject without being critical. Agix or Agix, tomato or tomato, is just a token of SingularityNet. SingularityNet is a much bigger ecosystem, and Agix is only one of the many tokens within the ecosystem if you're an investor. So you also have tokens that have been released in Rejuve and Cogito and several others. Just for a clarification on that, as you get more involved, and this is part of what the education process is what we're going through. And if you decide to become an ambassador and you get elected, and then you want to go on for the certification program, it would elevate your knowledge. But thank you for your interest and keep on keeping on, brother.
Yeah. Walter? Walter? Ayudas? Okay, perhaps not. Yeah, Ivan, you're very welcome. Again, reach out. I mean, obviously it's too much to grasp for like a first time. Too many things. I mean, even for someone like really involved for a long time in the community, it's like sometimes you don't know what's going on the other islands, I would say. But yeah, overall, you know, you get interested in one or a couple of work groups, you go to a couple of meetings, next thing you know, you're basically a contributor or even an ambassador or something like that. So that's how it goes.
Just for a clarification, for Ivan, like where did you step in right now when you're like, okay, SingularityNet, let's open the door, and there is like so many doors you open, and ambassador program is basically the one experiment in decentralization of SingularityNet, the way we approach kind of the ecosystem itself as a general, and that kind of created this innovation fund and a bit of like supporting tokens around that to kind of further that cause. Now we have the people who have joined are now basically creating a space and shaping the way they understand the ambassador program should be shaped in SingularityNet ecosystem. We do have goals, we do have missions, we also are humans, so.
Let me go for it.
Rojo, I got to sign off. I just wanted to compliment you. I was going to tell you how much better you were than Peter because you were keeping us to the time. But I recalled one thing that I know you're going to want to mention, and that's the Thursday town hall, deep funding town hall, and the review of the reviewers' review. So I think you want to mention that. But you did a great job, and thank you.
Yeah, I should mention that actually. Yeah, next Thursday we will have a little presentation, and that is going to be talking about the process, how we chose some people to give extra rewards to for the what do you call it? I don't even know. Like Tommy keeps telling me to change the name. Yeah, contributors, I guess. Yeah. but because I keep calling it something, and then Tommy goes like, no, it's not that, it's this. And then someone else says something else, and then I don't know. Standardization is a problem in the community, as you can see. We have to standardize some names. But I guess, yeah, commenters, contributors, yeah. We're anyway to join in deep funding. It's a fun thing that we have every Thursday. We meet, we talk about deep funding, governance, all this kind of stuff. Join in Thursday. You can check it out in the map in the calendar as well, and we will have a small discussion presentation there. So see you soon and see you there. Thank you everyone for joining.